I have an awesome morning planned for you. I have a catalogue valued Netherlands collection, very old, worth $5,500. Now, you're going to be shocked on how much it sells for. But let's have a look and we'll go through it. Hang on. Alright guys, as you can see, this is a very old album. It's a Netherlands album. It's nice and thick. There is a little bit of toning on the outside. The album's old, time to be thrown out. These albums, they're Davo albums. They've got these things here, so you buy the inserts. They are worth hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. I reckon it'd be over a $500-600 album with all the sheets in it. And someone's invested a lot with it, rightio. Now, at the time, the stamps they put in there, and I only catalogued, I've gone through and priced every expensive stamp, it came out to $5,500. And the price it's selling for, I'll tell you at the end. But yeah, it'll blow your mind on how much you can buy this for. But yeah, so I went through and I priced a lot of these. Now you can see it's all toning through here. I'll go a little bit closer because you can enjoy the stamps a bit more. Here we go. Now a lot of the stamps, thank goodness, people have put these sleeves in. So these are, I think I've got them somewhere. I know the exact name. Hold on one sec. I couldn't find the ones in my room. They are, if you have a look here, they are Howard stamp mounts. So they're self-adhesive and they come in long strips, and you can buy a little cutter to cut them, or you can use scissors. The little cutter keeps it very, very straight, and you can buy that from stamp shops and everything. But yeah, they're just amazing. They keep the stamps in great condition. Let's prove that by having a look at a couple of these. So that's all fairly good, isn't it? If you have a look, try and bring that into focus. Looks nice. And a couple of these stamps are worth a little bit. So this 5 cent is worth $178, $380. 44.22 down here, 44.22. Quite nice Netherlands stamps. If I get a little bit closer on these ones, not as close as I can get at the moment. How about if I just bring it up a bit? Look at those. Probably the one on the right's not perfect. One's up here, salvage could be bigger. And these ones here are quite nice. But for the price this is selling for, you know, you're never going to get $5,500 catalogue value for these stamps. I mean, that's basically it. So this is 1869. Go a little bit closer. As you can see, the toning comes around here, but these are protecting the stamps, which is fantastic. So I think there's a few stamps. I mean, I think this stamp didn't get away from the toning somehow. Yeah, so that's got a bit of toning on it. So it's lost all its value really. But if you could wash it, a bit of Milton, it might fix it. So that's a $200 stamp. So it might be worth taking a risk and trying to clean that one up, because it's not really worth that much at the moment. These ones here, I mean, it's a $50 stamp. That's a $4.40, $6.50, $22, which is the rest. This last one here is a $34 stamp, $11. Now, just telling you for Rarity, so what they're listed and everything like that, but absolutely beautiful stamps. Look at those. And it's a very, like, this album is for sale from Brian. And he wants, I can't wait until the end of the book to tell you. He wants $150 for it. $150 for these stamps. I couldn't believe it. I just went through it and just went, wow. I mean, I'm not interested in collecting Netherlands at this stage, but for $150, you just think, oh my gosh. I mean, the first couple pages paid for it. Here, Right here, any stamps that were in there and come up, Oh, I mean, that just needs to be washed to get all the old gum off it. Beautiful cancellation. Look at that cancellation. It's just a little bit dirty. You wash that stamp, it'll come out perfect. How much is that stamp? Oh, it's not worth that much. The yellow is worth $8, so it's not worth that much. So you could clean that one. So for $150, and I was talking to Brian. A few people rung up and started buying collections from him, which is really nice. Being 86 years old, I've said I'd help him. He wants to get rid of, sell a lot of his collections, you know, so his kids don't have to worry about it. But he's been selling a lot, but he's also been buying a whole heap more. So he only bought this album and another album I'll give another video on in Belgium recently, and he was selling for $150 each. And you think, wow, I mean, this really just shows you the price of stuff. Now, I don't know, like when someone has got this, went, oh, it's got toning all the way through it. So if you have a look, there's a lot of toning and stuff, so people are put off by it. But so a lot of the stamps are not affected. I mean, a couple have. Like, I mean, this one here, I can see the hinge here, the perforation's got a bit of toning. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. But I tell you, you wash that in Milton, she's all fixed up. It'd be great. And that stamp is worth $9, $40, $17, $28. Insane. So really, it's been priced accordingly to the condition of the album and the condition of the market. So a lot of those have got stuff all over them, which is a shame. You see that they're not in these plastics, they're just straight on the album, so they're affected more. Whereas these ones here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. These ones, oh, I can fit them all in one frame. These ones are all pretty good. So I really like these self-adhesive mounts that people put in. See this? Look at this stamp. It's just hanging off the side. And that hinge, it was hanging off the side. It looks like it's got a little bit of toning in the top right-hand corner. No, I don't think so. It just looked a little bit like it. I'll remount it properly. How much is that worth? 20? No, it's not worth that much. So I got, as you can see, I just went through, and anything that was above a couple of dollars I wrote down. So that $5.5 grand is just the stamps that I got prices on. There's another 200-300 stamps I didn't get prices on. So that adds another $1 each per stamp, which is amazing for $150. So this is where people can make a bit of money. Now, I'm not confident enough to buy this and then package it all up and sell it, but I've been thinking about it, but I just don't think I've got enough time, you know, hours in the day. Look at those, they're beautiful, aren't they? 1, 3, and 5. $34, $78, $44. Unbelievable. But the cost of these, I mean, my Stanley Gibbons albums are 2016, but, you know, talking to Brian and stuff, a lot of value in these stamps now is just disappearing because a lot of people are passing away. And no one really wants to take up stamp collecting. But, oh, that's cancelled to order. How amazing is that? That's a beautiful stamp with a great cancellation. Phenomenal. So that'd be worth more than that, what's on there. Yeah, it's just unreal. Look at these nice ones. Really good. That's your money maker, $34. So this is all Australian dollars. I've converted it all, but just amazing. Look how beautiful they are. Can we get a little bit closer? There we go. Just pull it back a little bit. I don't like people rushing past these sometimes. They just look amazing. So this could be your collection if you want it. I think postage anywhere in the world would be a killer. How much do these go for what would an album like this, any subscribers from the Netherlands? Have a look and tell me what you think these would go for. Are they all very common, or are they like, oh, these are worth a bit of cash? They look nice. Very cool. I like those overprints. They look very cool. So I think the most expensive stamp on this page will be this guild, 1 guild. That's $14.50. The 50 cent up here is $3.40, $9.50. Only 4 stamps on this page, and they're quite nice. Those, they're all mint. I think a lot of them might be mint hinged, unfortunately. Yeah, it's got a hinge on it. And this one I think will have a hinge on it too. Yep, which is a shame. So someone's saved these, pulled them off, and put them in these little self-adhesives. People have helped themselves to this album though, taken what they needed. A lot of expensive stamps are missing, but they left enough meat on the bones to make it worth it. Look at those. That 35 cent brown, this one here is the money maker, $28. But it does have a bit of toning by looks of it. And these guild stamps down here, $2.40, $16.50, $8. That's the money maker. Pretty nice. Again, we're repeating ourselves. So this is Met watermark. Met watermark. Which, I don't know, no watermark or a type of watermark. There, that fits just on screen. Look quite nice. Most expensive again will be the one down here. This brown one, much better condition, 35 cent. That's $28. Look at this one here, that's just destroyed at 21 cent. Let's have a look at this one, see if it's got a watermark. Put on Roger's perforation gauge. Yeah, I can't really see it there. Sorry, I'm just going to hold it up to the light. Yeah, no, I can't see the watermark. Now, are they put in the right place? I don't know. I do not know enough about Netherlands stamps because a lot of them are the same stamp over and over, so I'm just assuming the person that collected these did it all right, which is a fairly large assumption. And I remember buying a book of kangaroos years ago, and well, it wasn't a book of kangaroos, it was an Australian collection. I paid $800 and they had all the roos except the £2 and £1, but they had the 5 shillings, and yeah, they had all the really nice mint and everything like that, and they had all the different watermarks. Well, they said they had all the, all the kangaroos are in all the spots, and one was a slightly different color, and I thought, oh, I'll check it, it could be a really rare one or something. But what happened is every time the guy, you know, anytime there was a space for a roo, like a £2 roo, like a 2p roo or something like that, he just put one in each one, so that all the different watermarks were incorrect. So I had Commonwealth of Australia kangaroos, which if people know, Commonwealth of Australian watermark on a kangaroo is the cheapest version, and they were in the first watermark, second watermark, third watermark, multi-watermark, and they're all like the cheap version. So I rang up the seller. He was a really nice guy. I think he's passed away. I haven't seen him selling since. I used to chat to him all the time. I just rang him up and said it was, yeah, it wasn't a really good collection, because he just bought it, took what he wanted, and then sold it on to get his money back, which I was happy with. But once he realised he got ripped off, he was happy to give my money back. I sent it back. It just cost me postage to look through it. But yeah, I think he lost money on that one. It was a shame. But that's what happens. And you know, if you don't know what you're buying, if it's too good a deal, there's probably a reason for it. But with stamps now, the deal is the deals are getting better and better, which is great. I just wish I got a few more of them. But I've got a chance now of buying this, but I'd like to have a book like this full of German stuff for $150. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, because people love German stamps. But I reckon for this book, if I was going to buy it, I would either... how would I do it? I'd either replace all the pages, like get a new album, get all the pages, and then redo the self-adhesives and stick them all back in, or do it into my normal sleeves and then, you know, write them all up. But it'd be worth it. This one here is worth a bit. The toning's starting to attack, unfortunately. These are all perfect. Normally the higher value or the middle value is worth the most in these. I haven't been telling you all the prices, but you know, $7 stamp. The 5 is $10.50. That's where's 12.5? That's $6 stamp. And then this here, the 4-cent stamp, is $6.50. So you know, I've checked on eBay a lot of these stuff, and it is selling cheaper. So you know what? It is it's a buyer's market at the moment. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people inheriting stamp collections and being told by their parents or grandparents that they're worth a fortune, and to make sure they get top dollar. Because I've got a YouTube channel, I have a lot of people sending me pictures and asking me what I think these things are worth, and it breaks my heart when I have to tell them that by looks of the photos, not worth much. I had a poor guy the other day send me pictures of all these like little was it King George VI stamps, and he's like, oh, this one here should be worth a bit, or this one here should be worth a bit, and I'm like, oh, they're torn, they're damaged, and if they weren't, they would be worth only this much. But if they've got this mark or that mark, or if you had this type of stamp, it'd be worth $250. And then he comes back and goes, oh, I've got that stamp. And you're like, well, it's a different version of that stamp. There's 6 versions. He goes, oh, how am I meant to tell? And I took a page of my 6 versions, and there's like 10 stamps of each in the 6 versions. And he went, oh. And I said, that's the difference between a specialized collection and a collection that's from a kid from back in the day. Now, I couldn't believe this one's worth $100. And this one is worth $146. That one's just too damaged. But look at those. Perfect condition. For a $100 stamp, it's perfect condition. Look at that. Oh, it's hinged, unfortunately. But 90% of all stamps are hinged these days. But yeah, it broke my heart. Brian tells me that's the hardest thing he has to do is break people. Not break them, but, make them sad. He goes, a lot of people come to club meetings and go, oh, these are the stamps I was left, how much are they worth? How much will people offer me? And the dealers, at first, back in the day, they'd offer good money, but now they're like, well, that's one of 100 collections now I've got in my garage. It's, things are only worth what you can sell them for. And if you've got 100 albums sitting out the back, then they're not worth that much. And that's why I talked to Brian. Brian goes, he loves buying, he's a collector at heart. His wife passed away. He just loves to collect. He loves to buy albums from the stamp club, and he buys them cheaply. He takes out the stamps he wants to fill into his collection or what he hasn't got, and then he sells them on. And if he can sell them, double the price or a bit more, a little bit more than what he paid for, then he's making money, he's having fun, and, you know, putting a bit of food on the table. So it supplements his pension. And he's done really well at it. So he put 3 kids through uni. It's got hinges. They all got hinges, so don't expect them not to have hinges. But yeah, put his kids through uni and that. But he goes, it's becoming harder and harder to make a living selling stamps. So I mean, I'd love to try and make a living selling them, but it looks very busy. I think I end up being busier than I normally am. I think I might just enjoy filming stamps. Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, even there, it's got a little bit of toning right on the edge there, which is a bit of a pain. If you try to dab it with Milton, it'll take the gum off it. It's not coming on the front, which is nice. I think it, see that one? It was sticking out, so the outside edge has got the toning. So something to, oh yeah, and that one's sticking out the top. See that? So basically, the toning's coming through here. That stamp stuck out. It's attacked that stamp. This stamp stuck out. It attacked that stamp. These ones are inside, and they haven't attacked them. So these mounts are really, really good. So really, this collection needs to find a buyer as soon as possible. I mean, you're going to save money. Like, a lot of these stamps are going to be, might have, not a lot of them are going to be okay. I think all of them are hinged. Let's just double check again. Oh, the slightest hinge mark. Like, you can hardly see it. I think people would be tricked to think it wasn't, but I can tell. Yes, hinges. Sorry, guys. The money making stamp here is this 40-cent one. It's $7. So I found and I worked out with Belgium and Netherlands, the early stamps up to about 1960s is where you'll find the higher ones, high value ones, worth the most. Or there's a weird value at the front or the second one that's not used. Look at that, that's been affected. Look at these. They're perfect. How beautiful are they? They are just gorgeous. Not worth that much. They're not that worth that much because I haven't put a little price tag on the opposite page. Oh, that's a really good one too. Look at this one here. That's great. Some really nice stuff. I mean, they've got a lot of these kids and stuff. Child fund things. A lot of kids need to be looked after. Netherlands. Quite nice. Yeah, there must have been something happening in the days where a lot of kids were without families, so they were chasing up extra money through these stamps, selling stamps. They're quite nice. Now it's funny, this flower, the 30-cent flower here is worth $28. And the money maker here is the 5-cent. It's the $23. It's mint. I don't think it's mint on hinge. I think it'll just be mint. Yeah, it's got the slightest hinge. $14 and $21. These are quite nice. And a lot of them are around $8 or $9, $11, $16, but the one worth the most will be this guild here, 10 guild, $56. This one here, 16, $11.50, $11.50. Very nice. They're all quite nice, they're worth a bit. This one is worth $46. And number 4-cent one is worth $38, $16.50. This one's worth $98. Isn't that insane? $26, $40, $9.50. It just blew me out of the water when I was seeing these prices. I thought I'd just do the first 5 or 6 pages to put prices on them just to show the rarity of people. Because when he said $150, I'm like, oh, if only $150, how much are these stamps really worth? And I was having coffee with Brian probably the other week, and he was going, you should go through and price stamps, because then you can, you see them, you get a feeling for them, and then you learn the prices. So when you're at auctions, you go, oh, this lot will be worth a bit, or these are missing the higher values, or this set, I know for that. It's amazing. He can look at sets and go, oh, that's an expensive set. So, I mean, this one is $26, $16.50, and that one there is $26. But how do you know that if you're not practicing, And it's not about price, but it's about knowing rarity. And probably the biggest thing is, I know these are all worth so much now. And when a dealer goes to me, oh, I want $23 for this stamp because it's in the catalogue, I'll go, well, we just sold a book for $150 that had everything from the Netherlands from this date to this date, so it's not worth that. But when will a deal like this ever come up again? And the real reason this is so cheap, I reckon, is the toning. And it's attacked quite a few stamps. But you can still save a hell of a lot of stamps. And it's worth, if you lose the gum on some of these, if you can bleach them and get them clean, I think it'd be very worth it. Because, let's be realistic, you're never going to get $5.5 for this album, ever. Even if you clean all the stamps, put in another album, you're still not going to get it. You might be able to get $300 or $400 if you advertise it right. But then I just haven't got the experience to see if you could really sell that to people. I'd like to think you could. But to someone starting out with a Netherlands collection, I think they would pay $150 before taking a breath. Like $34, $23, $14, $14, $7. That's a very nice set. $29. Quite nice. $38. $9.50. $20. $4.10, $5.50, $9.50, $2.80, and $25 and $8. So the mint ones are worth more than the used for Netherlands. Oh, this one here is your piece de resistance, $44. So it must be a very hard stamp to get. I haven't had a look on eBay yet, but some of them I have, but not all of them. This one's probably worth the most. That one's missing. It's just a shame. Quite nice. Look at that, more child fund stamps. So it's got 4 cents plus 4, so I'm just thinking it's 4 cents for the postage, but the extra 4 cents goes to the child's fund. I don't know. What happened back in the 50s, 40s, 30s, 50s, 60s, where they needed a child fund? And what do they use it for? Who can tell me? What subscriber can tell me that? It's got me very interested, $21. Because there's a lot of series from the Netherlands that mention child fund on their stamps. Quite nice. Again, $17, $4.60, $6, $17. I think the one up here is the 30-cent one. used is worth $14. That one's worth $8. A lot of them are just worth $2 or $3. Like, I just haven't written those down. And I haven't mentioned a lot of them. But I'm going to leave all these little tags in for Brian, so if someone ever comes over and looks at it, they can sort of go, oh, that's how much these are worth. A lot of these flower sets are worth a bit. $4.60, $7, $11.50, $9.50, and goes $11.50, $9.50, $18.50. It's pretty amazing, $18.50 stamp. And that is mint unhinged. Perfect. Now maybe Stanley Gibbons there, mint price is for mint unhinged. So, all right, that $5,500 might be only $3,500, $3,000. But again, I haven't counted all the other stamps I didn't take prices from. So that boosts that up as well. So yeah, it's all around. $8.50, $7.50, $3.50, $6 and $4. More child welfare stamps. I started marking it on my sheet going child welfare. So there must have been a real problem. Or did it pay for free education for kids or food, or I don't know. I might have to look it up. You know what? Let's look it up right now instead of all wondering. I was just reading through Google and everything, and yeah, Netherlands was a Swiss started doing it. They're Netherlands the second, and they've done it ever since 1912, and they've done it every single year. And kids sell it in the last Wednesday of September, I think it is. I read somewhere, and they sell them on behalf of the post office. And yeah, they raise money to help underprivileged kids. They reckon that quite a few of them live under the poverty line. So. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? That's the beauty of stamps, you know. You don't know these things until you ask the question. And why would you ask a question if you didn't have a stamp sort of going, hey, look at me, look at me. I think, a few different countries should be doing it. I think they should have an ice hockey stamp in Australia. And all the money goes to Queensland to buy a new hockey rink. Did I say that out loud? Wow. Quite nice. See, there's a bit of toning through this all the way through, and there's a couple little stamps that got them. But a lot of them have got through it. I mean, it's in there. You can save a lot of these stamps. And for $150, I reckon this is a bargain. How could I not tell you the price it was selling for until the end? That would kill me. Very nice stamps though. I like the earlier ones more, but these are still very, very nice. Here we go. Quite good. These ones are $5.50, $5.50, $5.50. And this one here is the 25 cent? And the 45 cents, so $3. I wonder if these will be mint hinged for sure. Yep, mint hinged. And really the expensive, if the stamp come out singly, it really wasn't worth much. It's the stamps that came out in sets. And once we hit the 60s, they're all fairly cheap. Very, very cheap. Watched the movie last night called My Way. It was about Martin Sheen walking the Camino Trail in Spain. Starts in France, finishes in Santiago in Spain. I think my wife and I are addicted, and we're going to have to do it. $16 stamp, $8, $4.20. But it's a pilgrimage trail, which, I don't know, looks really interesting. It's like a lot of people do it to find themselves. I found myself already, but I think it'd be cool to walk 800 kilometres. Well, I can still do it. They reckon it takes 3 months, 90 days to do it. So, you walk 10, 20 Ks a day, but you don't have to walk every single day. A lot of them stay in bunk places. I think I'd want to stay in a bit nicer place than that. But you can sleep out on the trail and enjoy the food. And if you take the main track, there's a lot of farms and a lot of places that take in people for the night, which is really cool. I remember when my parents owned a shop in Curepe in West Australia. That was along the Bibliman track. Not many people walked it. It was really, really long. And we'd always have walkers come through, and they'd always go, "Oh, where can we stay the night?" We're just sick and tired of being wet and everything. And my dad, being a traveller himself, when he was younger, he'd always say, "Hey, we've got a big shed down the back." It was like an old barn, but it had an old mattress, couple of mattresses in there and stuff that we had as kids. He'd have them all set up and go, "Yeah, just throw yourself on these." You'd give them some food and stuff. Cook them. My mum would cook them a nice hot meal that they hadn't had for a month on end. I'd take it out to them, and Dad would light the barbie for them so they can have a fire to sit around. When I say the barbie, it's not like a normal barbie. It used to be an old steamer, like old boiler where you used to heat up water and put your clothes in the old days. And he had I used to laugh because he used to have an old chainsaw. Like an old wheel with spikes all over it. It used to cut big logs from the timber mill, and it just gone blunt. So that sat on top. It's okay. I think that'll come off. No, it won't. Don't know what that is. I wonder if these ones have got hinges. No. So yeah, it was really nice. So I'm thinking that it might be a good thing to do with my wife. I just have to wait for the kids to get a bit bigger. So out of all the stamps you've seen so far, the one worth the most are these ones. They're $19.50 each. I reckon these ones, they're the same stamp. These are the same as that, but when they're joined together, it looks like cows, cows, cows. This would have to be worth more than $40 joined together. So now we're getting to the newer stuff. We're in the 70s. So this is where heaps of stamps were selling. Let's take stamp collectors on a ride, they said. Let's bring out lots of issues. Oh, what I also read with those Netherlands the child fund stamps, was they were designed by Hallmark, the card manufacturers. How cool is that? Famous cards. Netherlands. Yeah, so we're coming into... I'm trying to slow down because I know people love the later stuff. Me personally. If I was seeing this for the first time, it'd be okay, but I've already been through it, trying to price it all up. And they're all missing. But then these are joined together. So they're not missing, they're there, but they're joined together how they come. It's fun one. But yeah, I was thinking, do the Camino trail. We're going to have to wait until we can leave the kids for 3 months by themselves. When I say kids, it'll be 20 and 16-year-old by the end of the year. So probably going in a couple of years when my boy's 18 and my daughter's 22. Nice. Met one of my wife's friends the other day. She does house sitting. And she doesn't get paid, but she gets free accommodation. So she's staying in these beautiful houses. And she likes to do one thing every day to, to say thank you. She goes through drawers and cleans the drawers out, cleans all the knives and forks, washes all the plates another day, cleans the oven the next day. It's just amazing, this woman. But she's come up to Queensland to figure out a place to live, and she's basically gone, oh, I'll just do some house sitting for 6 months. It's pretty amazing. All right, we've got to the end. These are the really early stuff, so when you get to the end of the Netherlands book, you find a lot of this stuff. So there's not really much here. I couldn't price any of these. I don't know how much these are worth. I couldn't find them in the book anywhere, in the Stanley Gibbons, so I'm not sure. Wait, I'll just have a quick on eBay. I'm used on hip stamp and they weren't worth that much, so I'm not sure. But there's a lot of different ones. I couldn't find these either. They're like a little set there. So these are not part of any of the price that's been there that I've said. Oh yeah, there's a couple of miniature sheets, 650, 650. Don't know, I couldn't find that anywhere. Couldn't find those anywhere. Nothing. That's a $13 miniature sheet. $23 miniature sheet. $36 miniature sheet, but it's got a bit of stamp. Is that? Yeah, see, it's got a little, it's sort of painful sticky tape on them. Those, couldn't find the cost of those anywhere. Or these. $18 for that one, pretty perfect. $21. Couldn't find any of those. $9.50. Couldn't find those. $7 at $7. Noit, Nothing. $9.50. Couldn't find those ones, and they've got different stamps from Amflex, so it must be a stamp show. $9.50. Couldn't find that one. $9.50. Couldn't find those. $10. These are the really early stuff. The 15 cent is worth $5.50. 4.5 guild is worth $7. It must be the airmail. Yeah, I couldn't find any of these, or they weren't worth that much. And that's it. It's, oh no, these ones. I don't think these are worth that much at all. They're all mint. That's mint. That's mint. Oh, this one here is worth $11. Overprint, very nice looking overprint, perfect condition. So the guys bought all these different sets. Well, those, they're all perfect. They're probably worth the most. No, I think it's it. Oh no, these ones here. The only ones worth anything is the 12 cent and the 1 guild. 5.50, 5.50, 2.40. Everything else $1, $2. Done. Dush. All right. Hang on one. So, what do you think? How much do you think that was worth? Would you pay $150? Are you from the Netherlands? Is it worth that now? It'd be great to hear this information. put it in the comments. Comments help the analytics. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. That's fantastic. That helps as well. And just like. And if you haven't commented yet, just say g'day, because it all helps with analytics and pushes my videos up to the top and more people can enjoy them. Thanks guys. Have a great day. I'm going to put Brian's number up there if you want the album, so give him a ring. If you live in Brisbane, just ring him and ask him to come over, have a cup of tea and have a look at the albums he's got for sale. There's a few subscribers now have gone over and spent a lot of money at his house and found a lot of bargains. So I'm just sharing this amazing opportunities with as many people as possible. All right guys, have a great day. See you later.